Hey guys, and welcome to Metal State Ultra Cup powered by King Price. My name is Airo OG, and I'll be your host and caster for the 5 games that we have on our hands and talk about a 3-week long qualifiers to get to this very last moment where we will have 33 trios jump out the battle bus into the very first King Series segment of Fortnite. Again, guys, sponsored and brought to you by King Price Insurance. So this one is going to be an interesting aspect to the esports development around Fortnite Africa, as we have, new series of brands sort of coming into the industry. So a huge thank you to King Price for bringing this one, as well as to Metal State for organizing the tournament. Now, I can tell you guys, these games are going to be very much interesting, as we will have, the likes of Neymar, Woke, and Skara, who are a sort of new trio trying to find a footing. And this weekend is a serious weekend for themselves, as they need to prove who they are and what they have to bring to the esports industry in competing in today's tournament. Not only that, guys, we do have serious competitive players, Travis the Cov, as well as Rejects, who have continued to show consistency in their gameplay. And it's just amazing to see exactly how they've performed. And we also do have contestants for first place, Reepsy, 10, Delex, and the list goes on, guys. We've got Divs, Card, Davs. We also do got new trio sort of just for today. However, it is going to be Gloves, Ace, as well as Psycho, if I'm not mistaken. But you know what? We're going to be jumping into the games at 2 p.m., so don't worry about that. We have a lot of talking and introduction to do to you guys, and talk about an introduction coming in from Metal State for the viewers. We actually do have some prizes up for grabs, and we can talk about those prizes right over here. So for the viewers who are just tuning in, we are looking at yourself winning a Funko as well as a cap for the prize one mechanic. So basically, guys, what you need to do is tweet out a picture of yourself while watching the stream, tag at Metal State as well as at King Price Ints, and make sure to use the hashtag King Series, the King of Gaming, hashtag Forge Ultra Cup. Make sure it's all those three, guys, and I'm going to repeat myself one more time. It is hashtag King Series, hashtag the King of Gaming, hashtag Forge Ultra Cup to win. The winner will be announced at the end of the stream. So all you have to do, one more time, for the first prize that we have on our hands, guys, is tag Metal State with a picture of you watching the stream, as well as tag a King Price Insurance. Use hashtag King Series, hashtag the King of Gaming, as well as hashtag Forge Ultra Cup to win. And you guys will be walking away with a Fortnite Funko Pop, as well as a King Price cap that you guys get to wear and represent the merchandise, who's giving us, free to enter prize pool tournaments. And they have many other segments, not just Fortnite. So the King Series consists of other game titles such as Dota as well. So if you guys are looking to get into the tournaments over there, just head over to Metal State and you'll be able to find that over there. So that's going to be really amazing coming out from the King Price. So the 5 games today, guys, is going to be in a segment, and we will be ending the stream at about 5:30, round about there, 5:20. So the last game will be existing over there. So it's going to be a really, really intense one going into the battlefields, where these guys now need to compete for over and over and try find their footings. And I feel, like Fortnite South Africa, they always learn the games in game 1, 2, 3, and then from there outwards it starts to get guns blazing, and they start to pick up that pace as they know their loot paths, who's contesting them, who's going to be in their way, and so forth. So that is some of the things we're going to be expecting in the Fortnite. And if you guys are new to Fortnite, if you guys haven't watched Fortnite, don't worry, I'll walk it through you and explain every single bit that needs explaining. So don't worry, I'll keep in touch with you guys for the new viewers that we have here in the Middle State Ultra Cup. Again, brought to you guys by King Price Insurance. The games are going to be starting in about 4 minutes, and then we'll be jumping on board. But some of the other names, guys, that are potentially going to be dominating in the tournament is going to be Paris, Buzzy, and Jojo. They actually came first in one of the qualifiers that we hosted. So they came first, and was an interesting qualifier set that we have. The 3 weeks to come to this very last moment, this very last hype moment, guys. And I want to see you guys hype up on social media. If you guys are not hyping up with, hashtag King Series, hashtag the King of Gaming, and hashtag Forge Ultra Cup, I don't know what else you guys are doing on social media. You guys need to hype it up, share the stream to family and friends, because the next 5 games are probably going to be one of your most sweatiest competitive gameplay Metal State and Fortnite has ever seen in South Africa. It is trios as well, so some of these guys are here to make a name for themselves and really try set that dominance that they have done before. And like I mentioned, Neymar, Woke, and Scholar being that new trio for the past couple of weeks, just haven't found their foot yet. And they've been competing for so long. They've been dominating. So Metal State Ultra Cup is really that pinnacle point for some of these teams to really start showing up to the party and showing off their talents and skills that they have in the competitive games. So let's see exactly what will be happening. Some players queuing up and things are still going into play right now. So that's going to be amazing coming out from them. But question coming out from the chat is, who do you guys think will be walking away with the top overall win on the standings leaderboard? Who are you guys favoring? Are you guys favoring Reepsy, Tem, the Lex, Travers, the Cov, Rejects? That trio has been unstoppable in the tournaments that they have played so far. I mean, we also do have, again, Neymar, Woken, Scorer. I'd love to hear from you guys who you guys think will be walking away with a couple wins in the back pocket over there, because it would be seriously interesting to see what you guys have to say for that over there. Okay, now seeing some of you guys actually get hyped on social media. So that's what we here for. That's what we are engaging with. It is gonna be the Metal State Ultra Cup. And let's see exactly what the first game means for these players as they start to queue up and get the code and so forth. The game should be starting in about a minute. And let's see again what the prize pool is going to be for the viewers. So the prizes for the viewers, guys, you get to win yourself Fortnite memorabilia, so the Funko Pops, as well as the King Price hat that we have over there for you guys. So again, for the prize one mechanic, for those of you guys that missed out, is tweet a pic of yourself watching the stream, tag Metal Stake, as well as King Price Insurance, and use hashtag King Series, the hashtag the King of Gaming, hashtag Forge Ultra Cup to win. The winner will be announced at the end of the stream. We do have 3 sets of Funko Pops for you guys to be walking away, and let's see exactly what will be happening. We're just gonna get word in from the Metal State people that the games will be starting, so the admins have now confirmed that in a single minute. So that's gonna be interesting from them. So let's see what will be happening. And now we start to think about, some of the fields and new trios that are sort of formed just for the Fortnite Ultra Cup. Sometimes there's like a one-hit wonder, and we actually see a new team sort of dominating a weird way, a way that we don't usually get to see. So, like the likes of E-Take, Swizzy, and Patosh, this team could potentially show a dominance in the way that they are motivated to do so. E-Take joining a new organization means that he has, representation to prove across the team and so forth. So let's see exactly what will be happening with him when he's competing and so forth. It's going to be a really long 5 games to really get that consistency in to win the top overall leaderboard, and we're gonna see everything starting off with the Carve, Rejects, Travers, the Lex, Reepsy, Tem, Jojo, Buzzy, Paris, Glubs, Ace, and Psycho, Davs, Divs, and Card. So these teams are going to be really setting in the pace for the games, and I'm hoping we get to see some late game surge happening, because that is really where the competitive is when the game sort of gets so stacked that Fortnite can't even handle the players in the lobby, and it sort of forces players to engage with one another and start, dealing the damage over there. So the Storm Surge sort of brings in lightning bolts and tags the player for 25 if they're under the damage threshold. So that's one of the concepts that we have here in the Fortnite competitive games, is Storm Surge actually happening But I believe, guys, that the game should be starting off. So let's go jump on board with the players that we have over here, and we get to see exactly who it is going to be like. So going over to gloves, we get to see them over the battlefield right now. So let's see exactly what will be happening. So game number one, 78 players out the battlefield, and we can start to see where these players are sort of looking to land. We got Glove, Psycho, and Ace actually going to their home, Dirty Docks. This is going to be an interesting job spot or POI that they sort of select for themselves. And it does look like he's getting a good jump into the field right now. And we get to see that in all retrospective of what is happening. And then if we go over to the players, Jojo, Buzzy, and Paris, who actually, out from the qualifier, managed to grab a good game for themselves. So they did extremely well for them. And they will be landing at Corny Corpse. It does look like we are going to get some off-spawn interaction coming in from the team. So let's see exactly what will be happening over here. A little bit of a contention happening at Corny. The player is disengaging, but it doesn't look like they will be giving the team a time of day as they let them disengage with their vehicle, and that's really where you want things to happen for your team. It does get tagged up quite a bit, but still decent amount of HP, and now they get to loot up successfully. So they did spook away the teams out of that position. If we go over to Divs, Davs, and Cards now, we get to see them at Lazy Lake. So they're in this position, very much safe, very much good. And if we do see the quality somehow distorted, guys, this is the best we can do with Fortnite and Discord. So this is really what we can get for you guys in the production levels over here. And I hope you guys do enjoy this. Remember to get engaged onto social media again with all the hashtags that is present for the campaign right now. But really the loadout looking really juicy for Divs and them. He's got a pump as well, has a burst rifle, a couple med kits, a big pot as well as minis, and he also has a launch pad that he could utilize going into the rotation. A launch pad generally allows you to launch yourself into the sky, and then once you launch, you can then redeploy your glider and start hovering and flying over the player. So it really is a crucial item to have when you get into the end games and those moving zones start to happen. So yeah, what's nice about Fortnite Battle Royale is that it's different from every Battle Royale there is, I think. You know, you got the building aspect in the game, but also the zones don't really tend to move in a set direction, and they continuously moving from one area to the other. So those end games get really interesting when these players now need to make rotations so close to each other. So definitely a launch pad is something that you would like to get into. So Divs, Card, and Davs, guys, really consistent trio. They are a passive one when it comes down to fighting. They don't usually get involved in all the action, and they try to position themselves in a POI like Lazy Lake to be safe. And Lazy Lake is really an interesting drop spot because it usually is around the map, and they usually do get into good positions as quick as possible. Just taking in a couple heals, so really good stuff for them. So now they're going to stop making these rotations. Let's see what's happening with the other competitors that we do have here for you guys. So Deimos, so Perv and them as well in the tournament. And we're going to see exactly what will be happening with them. So Perv, and it's Perv Smiling and Nanu now also in this cup. They also have a decent loadout. They have a launch pad. They have some big pots minis as well as chug splashes. So really they are in a good position. Smiley can actually start to heal up because he is quite low on HP, and that is why they have thrown the big pot over there. So good healing will be coming out from his teammate over there. Guys, we're just going to do a quick transition into an intermission, but we'll be right back as we do get the other POVs out from the players. Just give us 1 second. Yeah, we are back into the gameplay and we're on board with Rejects, Travis, and the Cov. Guys, I mentioned this team to be a really dominant team to sort of come through with a win, and I'm telling you, it is possible that they do be that consistent in the 5 games we have of Metal State. Let's see exactly if they continue with that consistency from their previous South African tournaments. But now here in the King Series Ultra Cup, hosted by Middle State, brought to you by King Price Insurance, they can sort of continue that dominance that they've set over the period. And yeah, really successful team. Goliath Rejects all the way from Goliath Gaming, as well as Travis. And you're going to have the Cov being an FA, a free agent. But watch this kid's skill and talent when it comes down to those endgame rotations. He really knows how to frag, get eliminations, and it's those kill points that really start to matter a lot, chat. When they start to get those kill points and those placement points in together, it means that they set, higher points on the leaderboard, and that overall leaderboard starts to look really, really juicy. Does look like there is some oppositions around. A good tag over there, and he's trying to get more tags onto the players. And now you can see Travis and his players get involved over there from height. But that vehicle is going to be able to disengage successfully out of this position, and we get to see him. But an explosion onto the vehicle, and we see some Fast and Furious moments in Fortnite, however, and it does maybe look like a potential revive could come into play. No, it is just 2 players or 3. No, it is 2 players making those rotations over there. Good tags coming out from Rejects. He's able to tag his opposition. And the weapon he is using is going to be the Mythic Org. And there's only one of these guns in the entire Fortnite lobby. So Rejects and them get to utilize this weapon, which is by far the strongest one in the game. It does do an increased rate of fire, as well as more increased damage. Now Travis the Cov and them will be making those rotations edge of zone in their very own little vehicle. But potential other winners that we do have, guys, is going to be Reepsy, Tem, as well as the Lex in the cup over here, guys. Let's see exactly what happens with them and how they make those rotations for themselves. So where they are right now is just in the void. It's the zombie void where they can get some really good loot. The zombies can't come out of that void. As you can see, there's a little bit of a surrounding around it, and once entering there, the zombies sort of start to fight off. But once it's done, everything sort of evaporates and the loadout is available over here. Now this place also does give you insane loot. Sometimes you do get a spaz, sometimes you don't. And today it is going to be a blue pump here for Reepsy, Delex, and Tem. So this trio actually switching POIs. So if you look at that map, they were landing at Boney Burbs, but made the switch over to Steamy Stacks. And we are still very much in the early part of the zone, so we're not going to be finding anyone in action just yet. And if you go over to Jojo, Paris, and Buzzy, we sort of get to see them in a box fight situation, and a good tag coming out from Jojo as he hits for 33. Ooh, an explosion onto the gas petrol station that we have over there as well. Again, so much of these players, guys, are trying to play for endgame. They are trying to be consistent in their placement points that, in the end, it really matters the most, because it's those 5 games, and consistency really matters in Battle Royale. It doesn't matter how much kills you can get off spawn and then get eliminated. So we've seen a lot of players really start to disengage and not really being involved in the fighting aspects just yet. But hopefully soon we start to see the action come from these players just in just a moment's time. 70 players remain, by the way, guys. So only 9 have been eliminated, and that is kind of scary. So too passive. I say too passive coming out in the Fortnite Ultra Cup. We want some action. We want some hype. We want to see you guys piece control the players, and piece control is basically what happens when a player sort of boxes the opposition with his materials. So that basically was what would happen if the situation comes into effect. But I'm liking that, you know, even with 79 players, these guys are sort of taking the games very much serious, and they're playing out very drastically. So it's really amazing to see that coming to play. Let's go over, guys, to Ricey, Deimos, as well as Energy to see exactly what is happening with their POVs and how the gameplay is looking out for them. So already the team is in a good position, a good loadout. They have a harpoon, something we haven't seen yet in the loadout. The harpoon basically is exactly like that. It pulls or harpoons the loot that is on the ground, that is in the ocean or in the ponds. So you can fish with a harpoon. You can also drag loot with the harpoon. So really crucial item to have going into endgame. Whereas if you see an opposition that has been eliminated, but you can't really make the rotation into the area because you'll be too focused, the harpoon comes into play and they sort of drag the loot from a distance, which is something we hope to see come into the endgame. And then if we go over back to Piv, HBK, and Smiley, we get to see exactly what is happening. So really passive, guys. Everyone's boxed up. Nobody wants to be taking the damage, but the damage is going to be needed, guys. I can tell you now. When we jump in from 4th zone to 5th zone, the zones are just going to be super stacked on that end over there. So let's see exactly what happens with the gameplays. Now just Piv, Smiley, and HBK, they get to chill. Right now, the zone is decreasing. That means the players will be coming closer and closer to each other. And then we start to see Manic around the map, how these players make decisions that really bring them to an advantaged position. So let's see exactly what will be happening with the players going forward. And I would like to see, you know, a real competitive a gameplay towards the end where things start to look sweaty and these guys are really making some crazy plays. I can tell you right now, that is in course. It is coming into play and we get to see that. But look at just how many people need to rotate around the map, and Piv and them just really being a gatekeeper in this position. We go over back to Reapsy, Delex, and Tem. We get to see exactly what will be happening with them, but all good for now as they are safe. Also in zone, just above Craggy Cliffs actually. So not really a zone that we get to see so often. Usually the case is around Catty or going to Believer Beach or even at Boney. But this time around, it's going to be a zone that's situated at Craggy Cliffs. So for the team that did land here at Craggy, all they needed to do was be consistent in the way that they played and didn't really get themselves involved in any action. The materials are not looking so well onto Reapsy, Tem and them. They are on 80 for wood as well as 352 brick, so they're definitely gonna have to farm up, and you can see them do exactly that. So using their pickaxe, hit the materials on the wall. So if you hit wood, you get wood. If you hit metal, you get metal. If you hit wall, you get bricks. So that's exactly what happens over there. So the team is going to need to literally farm up as much mats as they can so that going into endgame, the team has as much materials so that they can freely make those rotations and so forth. And they're going to put themselves in a good position for the zone. So I look forward to seeing how they play this one out and how things go over to them. Lazy Leg team who now needed to make a massive rotation play, and for them who are really much passive players, it is going to be a very hard fight for them to sort of go into the fight over there. So we get to see them rotate in a mysterious way, and they have fuel over here in this car, so they get to make that rotation much easier. Ooh, it does look like Piv and them are actually in a tough position, but unfortunately we're unable to see what happens over there as they do get eliminated already. So Car, Davs, and Divs making those rotations 100 meters away from their destination, and it does look like they're gonna try get center zone over here, cut in between everyone, and we start to see those bases formulate themselves around the entire game. Number 1 of the Ultra Cup, brought to you by King Price. Let's see what game 1 means for these competitors. Ooh, he's getting tagged up by fire. Hopefully not a server focus coming into play, as now things start to look a little bit sweaty for them. It does look like Davs or Divs is going to be in a tough position of HP. Hopefully the team is able to hold their builds out and try get in successfully. Needing to heal up right now. He does find the time to do so, as well as Divs, as he's managed to find himself a couple blue shields. But it's that medkit that really is what he needs, and he has done so successfully right now. They get to save their blue shields as well as chuck splashes, etc. going into the end game, so that's going to be crucial for them. Team Psycho, Gloves, and Ace making the rotation all the way from Dirty Docks, now in those final positions where they need to still do sort of a max pool for them and go center zone. With 64 players alive, I can tell you it's not going to be easy, but we tune into it. We get to spectate that. Game number 1, guys. Let's see how Gloves and them make that rotation with no really anything going for them. They don't have red chili peppers. They make the rotation on foot, and they will get a little bit of focus. He does get head dinked, so head dink is a serious amount of 41 damage. Now makes the rotation in a vehicle. Good to see these guys utilize vehicles going into endgame, but they are tagged up quite a bit, and they need to jump out right now, build the base for themselves, a safe haven. And I can see Ace in a sticky situation. The Storm Surge warning pops up on the screen for us, guys, and these players deal enough damage for game number 1. You can see 361 damage above, so they're going to be in a safe position. Hopefully we go on to teams that haven't really been too active, that haven't really gotten their damage, and we go over to Jojo, Buzzy, and Paris, and we see them, they're actually in a sticky one because they've already lost Jojo going into this end game over here, and they're trying to play it as safe as possible, but they're getting focused consistently, and his mats is burning up right now. So going into end game, if he does survive this one, just won't be good for him. They drop down, still getting focused. They launch pad, but he launch pad with literally 68 HP. And oh, this is not looking good as he still is flying. Nobody focuses him. Paris gets shot a bit. He does get tagged up. Oh, and he gets knocked, but I think he's going to be in a safe place. And just as I said that, he will get eliminated. So GG's to him. He does not get to see the days over there. So we go over to Smiling. He is going to be eliminated out of that one. We go over to Dibs to see exactly what happens over there, how the gameplay is going to be situated. Right now, it does look like they're safe, and that Storm Surge is active, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to catch on to any team that needs to survive the threshold. As you can see, everyone that we have right now in the broadcast has dealt their damage, has been active in some way, form, or manner, but 57 players in the Ultra Cup, guys. That is something to cheer about. The end game is alive. Everything is looking just as saucy. We are seeing some players being eliminated by that Storm Surge. If you look at that kill feed, it is happening right there. So now we get to see them over there. But going over to potential winners based on their consistencies, Rejects, Travis, and them. But we are finding Travis getting eliminated over here, guys. He's knocked and they drop down, and oh, Rejects puts himself in a sticky one as he almost also gets into a knocked position. The Cov, all that the players need to do for Travis and the Cov is sit together, not take on any other action, because it's not going to be good. And it does look like COD is the one to eliminate Travis, the IGL, in the game. Let's see exactly what happens here for the team. So the potential winners, Travis and them, unfortunately just won't be going into game one with the boost up points, as they now need to play it extra safe going into the next couple of rounds. We'll go see Div's card and them, who actually managed to pick up that elimination for them. So now they're sitting quite well. The first moving zone that we'll have for endgame, we'll see 45 players making that rotation. Makes that rotation. Now they go. Ooh, and this is where things start to get interesting. Divs and them making a successful one for them, but they are going to get focused here on the low ground. They drop some players' loot, and oh, just talk about a refreshment they needed going into the endgame rotations. Their mats are looking good, and they can continue with what seems to be a W in my books. COD being the topper, getting them into the next zone is crucial, but now the fighters, COD and Divs, need to start looking out for the oppositions. Try pick up some kill points, because we are down to 40 players remaining, and that is really a stack of an endgame. Now they get back into the zones, try to look for any fighting positions that they can find themselves in. They do also have that launch pad that they can utilize for themselves going into the next moving zone, because it pulls in a weird direction, and you can see Divs try to find a good top place, but they could put themselves in a weird one, as this is all built. They get tagged up from behind, they short launch it, but look at Divs, he's taking up all the damage. He's quite low, needing a breather to heal up quite a bit. Let's see what's happening with the other oppositions, and as I say that, Light CK is actually the one to pick up a huge elimination onto Divs, so unfortunately he's not going to be happy with that one. Glove, Psycho and Ace alive in this one with 214 damage above in this late endgame of a stacker. A player behind, he does get tagged out to 72 HP, but he's still alive. He also gets a breather for this one to heal up, use those minis. The team is all alive. The materials are so low. They are going to need a refresh over here. Psycho leads the top, and hopefully they do find themselves with elimination. Gloves gets himself out of the sticky situation, but unfortunately with no mats, he can't make those rotations, and he gets into a sticky note. Ace and Gloves get taken out so quickly, and they're unable to make those rotations any longer. We're on board with Reepsy, and Reepsy gets taken down. It's Tem and Delex who's making the rotations. Rejects is somehow still alive in this one. Let's go jump on board with Rejects. As we mentioned, you know, going into endgame, they're not going to be too happy with how things are looking out for them. And you look at Rejects HP, and you know he's going to get eliminated anytime now, and he does so indeed. Let's go see what is happening with the players, Reepsy and them, to see if they still continue with those rotations alive. It does happen, but not for long, as Tem gets eliminated. Delex gets taken down, and we get an elimination out from E-Tech. So E-Tech is the one to pick up those kills, but E-Tech in a sticky one, as now he needs to make those rotations. Will he be able to do so successfully? Let's see exactly what happens right now, as E-Tech is left alone over here. Does seem to go down to the very low. E-Tech still very much happy with how things are looking out for him. He does have 4 builds to his name, 8 players remaining. Let's see what happens over here. He tries to get an elimination, but he gets himself eliminated either way, and that's gonna be a GG's of note. And if you go and see if anyone else is still alive, it doesn't look like it. So unfortunately, we are gonna miss that winning POV, guys, and that is gonna be game number 1 for you guys. What a stacker of an endgame Unfortunately, no winning POV, but guys, we will be able to see exactly who won that game last time around to bring you guys the standing and so forth. But Travis getting taken out early, Rejects and them did play quite advantage to themselves, getting some eliminations in the end game, and that's really what you wouldn't expect from such a team. And then we did see Divs as well getting taken out very early as he got eliminated by CK. And then the likes of Ace and Glubs got taken out simultaneously, leaving Psycho to sort of top as a solo. And there we saw, not really it being to their advantage. But that is game number 1. That is a wrap on that one, guys. And we'll be going in for a short break as we set up game number 2. And then we'll be back with the standings. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere else, and we'll see you in just a bit.
What we do here is go back.
Hey guys, and welcome back to game number 2. It is the Metal State Ultra Cup brought to you by King Price, guys, and this is the segment King series where we'll be featuring Fortnite. And what a splendid game number 1. But where does that leave us, guys, in terms of the standings? And we can see exactly where everyone is situated. So first place is going to be WXFA, which is going to consist of Stormtestros, Chimp, and Keaton. In second place, guys, we're going to have Nunclaw with 32 points. In third, we're going to have Punishers X WRG, which consists of the players Ginger, Crispy, and Jamie. They actually won the game, but with only 5 eliminations. If you look at WRG XFA, they walked out third place with 15 kills. So successfully, they walk out dominating the map. And then in fourth, there's going to be Ayanda with 18 points. And that's where, you know, third and fourth really separate big time, because third has 30 points, fourth is sitting on 18, tied with fifth place ZZW with 18 points as well. And then Corny in sixth place is going to have 15 points, so Morg, Pepper, and Cobra. And then in seventh is going to be Pun X, Light X, FA, Reapsy, Tem, Delex. So that's going to be beautiful over there. In eighth place, it's going to be Car, Davs, and Dibs with 12 points. In ninth, it's going to be OGs with 9 points. In 10th, it's going to be Average with 7 points. So, off the bat, guys, this is your top 10 leaderboard as it stands right now. You got Bravo, Neymar, Scara, and Woke in 14th place. Interesting to see exactly what happens with them going forward. And then on top of everything else, guys, this is the official standings for you guys. So, the grand finals for the thing. Guys, remember, we are running a giveaway, right? So first giveaway, which will be announced at the end of the stream, is that you take a picture of yourself watching the stream, tag Metal State and King Price Insurance, and all you need to do as well is use hashtag King Series, hashtag The King of Gaming, hashtag Forge Ultra Cup to win. The winner will be announced at the end of the stream. However, for my lucky viewers in chat, we actually have another giveaway happening right now where you can type in the chat !a King Series. So go ahead, enter that giveaway right now. The winner will be announced at the beginning of game number 3. So make sure you guys are typing !King Series. You'll be walking away with a King Price cap as well as a Team Cuddle Bear Funko Pop, which could be used to put onto your setup. I mean, why not have Funko Pops? They are the pop culture of the industry for now. So yeah, again, !King Series. So right now, we have 2 giveaways that is active. The main one, again, is to take a little picture of yourself, post it on social media, on Twitter, and tag Middle State as well as King Price Insurance, and use hashtag King Series, hashtag a King of Gaming, the King of Gaming, and then hashtag Forge Ultra Cup, guys. And then you can also win yourself again another cap as well as a Funko Pop over there. So the games will be starting in a minute, and let's see what this means. These means comebacks, definitely comebacks for some of these teams, guys. Bravo looking to make a comeback. I don't see Travis, Goliath, Rejects, and them are close to the top 10 as well. So a comeback is going to be needed over there. I'm not sure if any of these names maybe could potentially be Rejects in them. No. So yeah, top 10 really just not looking in favor of Rejects, Travis, and the Cov. So let's see what happens for game number 2. And also, of course, for Reaps in them, they want to do 10 times more better. They really want to go in with a pop-off, and we hopefully get to see that going into the next set of games. But game number 1, guys, is on its way, and we jump on board with Clubs, Psycho, and Ace, who also need a comeback in this situation, guys. They didn't really have that mega pop to their game. We did see Glubs and Ace get immediately eliminated off sport in the end games together. So it was just Psycho was left on the rotations, and to be honest, was not the safe rotation for them. So hopefully game number 2 means something different for this team, means that they can pop off, and means that they can really show who they are and what skill they have going into the cup right now. But potential players, E-Take and them as well, guys, where we get to see their players in the tournament. So we go over to Ricey over here to see exactly what's happening. Ricey, Deimos as well has 7 guys landing all the way outside Sludgy Swamp at the Airo base. So interested to find out what could be the play going there. Looking very successful all in all. They load out really good. They've already got the lever action shotgun, some ARs, big pots, minis. So really they are good. And what's nice is that the IO base also consists of barrels that they can use, so they don't really need to use any of their minis or any of their big pots, because they're going to be in a good position to use the barrels to get to max 100 shield. So let's see exactly what the plays are going to be like for the team going forward. If we look over, guys, at the Lex, Reapsy, and them to see what's happening with their off-spawn situation, they are landing at Steamy Stacks. They need to rotate yet again into that winning position, and I don't know if it will be possible for them to sort of do that, but it's going to be a tricky one for sure to see them make those rotations. Over at Corny Complex, hopefully we've seen some action, and a little bit of action, not too much over here happening. It does look a bit distorted. We apologize for the quality, but this is the best we can get in an off-spawn situation. Paris has taken up quite the damage. Buzzy still very much happy with the HP he has right now. He uses a couple coconuts to heal up. He gets a full beam. He does get the knock onto Morg. Morg gets eliminated, and he played that one a little bit too aggressive, and Morg will find himself eliminated, even if they did have the upper hands in this one. But Buzzy and them really controlled the fight to their advantage. They are getting focused from all the sides, trying to disengage just a bit. Their mat counts are looking quite low. They need to farm the house, make sure that they're in a good position of mats, because if they do run out in a sticky situation, they will get eliminated. But Paris goes out the window. He does get a beam onto the player, and now the players are starting to disengage. Maybe they went in just for the card or the reboot card, so that they can reboot their friends out at the orchard, which is the location you can find yourself over there. So really well done to the contestants over here who are securing themselves with an off-spawn fight time in and time out. So let's see what that means for them going forward with the gameplay. So E-Tech, Pods, and them, they really dominated last time around. We did really didn't get to see them in, the gameplay, but we saw E-Take in a huge pop-off nonetheless, really showing up to the party. Now making that rotation onto Tug Splashes, that is really looking good for them. His loadout's looking really amazing. They get to use the barrels. So, like I said, guys, barrels are really so OP. So, if you land around a sludgy swamp, you guys get automatic max a shield with the barrels. And some of the bases around over here as well consist of a little bit of barrels, which is really good for them over there. So, let's see what happens with the team going into the next couple of zone rotations, but it's definitely going to be a hard one to come. Now for rejects, the cover them guys, a pop-off is needed. We did see Travis sort of get eliminated very early, guys, in endgame. So really the team was already at a huge disadvantage, seeing that they had no HP whatsoever. It was just very tough for them. Go over to divs to see what the team is doing at Lazy Lake, what their rotations consist of, and ooh, look at the RNG for them, guys. They find themselves a beautiful llama where they can get down chili chugs, and they could be in a good position. Needs to box up the llama and be in a good play, but there you go. Now the llama will be able to drop him max mats, chug splashes, chili chugs, and they will be in a good rotation for endgame. Really, really broken item that they have in the back pocket, so they'll be able to heal up at the same time. While healing up, they get double movement. So just imagine that, really broken. And remember, guys, we have a giveaway that is currently active right now. Make sure to use !King series in the chat right now if you guys want to be entered into the giveaway. So remember again, !King series for the prize to give away, where you walk away with a Team Cuddle Bear Funko Pop as well as King Price cap. And then go on social media, take a photo of yourself while watching this beautiful stream. I say beautiful because I am behind the voice. Take a beautiful picture of yourself, post on social media, tag Metal State as well as King Price Insurance. Use hashtag King Series, hashtag the King of Gaming, hashtag Forge Ultra Cup, and you guys will be able to win yourself a giveaway at the end of the stream as well. So make sure you guys are doing exactly that. And then those are the two giveaways that are currently live. We will announce another giveaway pretty soon after this one, guys. So make sure you guys are not going away just yet, and that you are actually sharing the stream to friends and family. So let's see what will be happening over there. So Divs caught in them also needing to really do well this time around. They haven't had that huge pop-off for them as well. So it's going to be a questionable game on how things sort of turn out for them and how things play out. But E-Tech, Puds, and Swizzy make this rotation, guys, in the end game over here. Let's see what happens. So it's actually State in the team, not Swizzy. So it's going to be State, Potosh, and E-Tech making the rotation. So 73 players remaining. That is so much players yet again, guys. Only 2 players have been eliminated, and this is game number 2. So passive gameplay is being seen yet again, guys, for us. Very, very amazing stuff that we have. Let's see how they sort of progress with such stacked lobbies. I mean, E-Tech did so well as a solo. We saw him in those final positions, really popping off, getting so many eliminations, and he did so well for himself. Let's see if he's able to replica game number 1 just again. does see vehicles rotation. He's gonna get the spam on the car, but it's not gonna affect anything as they are at a distance. But if you look over there, some players also just boxing up, players getting in and around, and they start making those rotations. For Perv, Smiley, and HPK, they're really in a good position as well, and they make the rotations in a vehicle, the Airo car base, which is really amazing to have right now, and make the rotations just quite close to the Bony Burbs. So let's see what will be happening for the team right now going forward with everything they have for them. They do have a Scar, they also have a Blue Pump, so they're very much happy with how things are looking like. 73 players still remaining. The zone will start to shrink in about 1 minute and 20 seconds, and you can start to see players try find a base and try base up already. So passive gameplay is being seen here, guys, in the King Series Ultra Cup, which I'm looking forward to seeing what Game 2 has to represent again for the Fortnite South African community. Good tags coming in. They tagged for 23. It is a shadow player who's been really affected right now. Good tags for the team as well, you know. Remember what we talked about, guys, that Storm Surge, which we saw a hefty amount of last time around in the previous game. Those tags are very much crucial for the gameplays going forward. So really, really well done to the team doing that and picking up those tags as it is right now. Glubs and them now make the rotation outside Dirty Docks into a place of positioning for them, and you get to see them right here healing up quite a bit. They did take a couple damages as well, but they just outside risky reels right here. Players left, right, and center still dealing some damage to them. Ooh, he tags up, but ooh, the trade was not worth as he does tag for 22 but gets hit for 80. Now they need to utilize more materials and utilities going into the end games. Psycho also needing to chug splash. So I think that is the play that's going to happen. And we are getting a surge active, a surge warning for first moving zone. So that just explains exactly how beautiful the game is being played right now by these competitive players. They take down a bounty hunt onto Zeleny, who's in and around them right now as it stands. They're just farming up, getting their materials back to full HP. But now players are starting to get tagged up, and this is an opportunity for Ace and them to deal the damage. And we are seeing some shots coming in from behind, and this is maybe not the key decision. In fact, it is, as Ace does get a knock, and they turn things to their favor. They get the scan and the location of the players, and now they get to see what happens. But Psycho has been broken all the way to 98 HP. He will be able to heal up. They take him into the base to sort of be in the play where they save, get materials, get everything they need. Nice tag. A focus coming in from afar, so they still need to be safe on how they do things over there. Just utilizing the AR shots. And now the zone forms, and they're still very much safe. But they will be needing to make the rotation soon out of this. And then hopefully they make it successfully, because that would be good for them. Reject, Travis, and the Cub all the way down in Pleasant Park, actually. So interesting to find them that far in. But if you look at their mats, it could be that they found themselves in a tough one, because 158 metal and 391 brick this early in the game, that is questionable on what had happened. 235 wood as well. They jump out, they box up, but really, what is the mat count looking like onto rejects, and why is it in this position for them? Go over to Jojo, Paris, and Buzzy, who respectively got off-spawn kills for themselves. They did really well, but we find them edge of zone right now, just hugging edge of zone. And this is a strategy that we see in every single battle royale. They play it safe. They try play it to their advantage. Sometimes tier 1 players and top tier players make their rotations as well on the edge of zone so that they can pick up eliminations like Buzzy, Jojo, and Paris. But for the most time being, I think it is a dead side rotation, and the team is going to be safe, holding out their builds just in case, someone around decides to shoot at them. They can use their builds to be very much in a good position. So I do see the team really walking out into a good area, and they're going to soon now get into that safe haven of a zone, and they're going to be happy with how they made the rotation. So very smart coming out. They hug the zone, and they're using their bolts right now just to travel, and still a far away. They must jump out right out before it explodes, and it is going to explode, but they are out of that vehicle safe and sound. Buzzy with a couple damages on them, but nonetheless the team is happy with how that ended up with. I would have to seen that the games are still very much alive, very much stacked. The teams are in, weird positions to make rotations. Remember, guys, the giveaway is active. Make sure to use !King Series, and you'll be able to enter into the giveaway, for which will be announced at the beginning of game number 3. There is still game 3, 4, and 5 to be played, so the action is still gonna be expected from these players. The pace will start to pick up, I think, around about game 4, where these guys start to get comfortable with each other. So let's see what happens with them, how things turn out for them. There's 40 seconds until that zone starts to move, and Potosh, E-Tech, and State now need to make the decision to make the rotations. And there are edge of zone. They make the rotations to right side, which is a fair decision, I must add, because it does look dead side very much. A lot of builds over here which they can use for cover. Yes, it's not their builds, but old tops is a successful way to save your materials and just make the rotations in there. There is no one that can harm you, and you can see E-Tech. Oh, there's a launch pad here as well, so E-Tech and them can make the rotation successfully. So they use that launch pad into the safe zone right now, and they will be in a good position to do so. So let's see what happens with them right now. Storm Surge warning 66 below, and ooh, chat, we can potentially see some dangerous positions for them. Potosh, unfortunately, unable to hear his surroundings. He's gonna get tagged up all the way down to 100 HP, but he can use those minis now to take up the damage. But if you look at that, guys, 57 damage below on the damage threshold that is being represented on screen, it means now that Potosh, E-Take, and State need to deal the damage, and they do so indeed. They get the tags over there, so that's really good. But will it be enough and long enough for them to actually continue with the damage threshold that they currently have? So 2 players alive from the opposition teams. It does look like that player is sitting in the zone over there, and a good spam, and oh, they get the elimination. Chat, they changed things around for them, where they were in a position of dying to Storm Surge in about a minute. They managed to pick up those eliminations, the damages for them, and they might just survive this one off spawn. So happy to see them make that one. A team that could potentially be in a tough position, guys, is going to be Ricey and them. And I'm correct to say that. And you can see them getting tagged up right now by that lightning bolt that we did mention very early in the stream. 7 players need to die before that surge goes away and to deal the damage that may potentially save them. So it's all about making these players aggressive in the sense that now they get to survive the threshold, but only 60 damage above means that they will be safe right here. So Rai, C, 7, and Deimos now need to make the decision plays on how they make their next rotations and so forth. And only 143 damage above is not good enough, guys. They need to get to that 50-50 zone, and they need to do it now because things are looking tough. But at the same time, while making that zone, they also need to deal damage to oppositions that are around them, because by all means, the next storm surge that activates, guys, they are going to be in a tough position. Talking about tough positions, let's see whether or not the competitors who are arguably in a position where they can win the tournament, where they're positioned and lied right now. So 51 players still remaining. They go for a short launch into this position. Questionable though for them to use a launch pad right here. They expand out, they get a good base for themselves, so Rejects, Travis, and the Cub can start dealing the damages they need, although not really necessary because they have the damages present for them, 1,100 above, and you find them in a good position. But they are getting server focus right now, and they just need that little bit of a peak that they can get for them that will change things around for them right now. But the players are needing to heal up. You can see the Cub with a med kit healing up drastically right now, getting focused down below. The Cub unfortunately needs to cancel that healing to do so. And holy, what are we looking at? 49 players alive in the first moving, guys. So Storm Surge really gonna be a huge problem onto the teams that are struggling to deal the damage necessary. We look at Clubs and them, and they very much happy. They've got those 3 eliminations very early. BBD Neymar gets a knock in the kill feed, so Neymar starting to pick up that pace. Good to see him start to pick up the points right now. And a rotation from Psycho, Clubs, and Ace just get a little bit scuffed. But there's a launch pad for Ace and Clubs to use. Psycho is now left alone as a solo to make the tops into the end game. I wonder if he will be able to do so successfully, because as a solo in these tough endgame situations, it's just not so easy, but it makes it look easy, right? He makes it look easy as he manages to meet up with his team, and they make the rotations either way. So they're looking very much happy right now on the move. We go over to the Lex, Reepsy, and Tem as well, and it does look like they are going to be eliminated, unfortunately, so we won't be able to see their POV. If we go over to Dabs, Divs, and Cod, we get to see them. We get to see them active, but they're below Surge, and that Surge is going to get activated, but they're now above the threshold, guys, dealing the damage that is present right now, and they're happy with that one. And they still alive. They got those chili chunks, which you really haven't gotten the chance to see, but hopefully now we do. They need to pop off those chili chunks right here so they can make the rotations. Also, in the midst of things, heal up in the same sense. But look at just how stacked these low grounds are and how the rotations are looking out for the teams. They're just moving in between so many builds right here, guys, and it's so stacked. Still 33 players remaining, and this needs to be said. It is the most stacked I've ever seen a Fortnite lobby in Fortnite South African history right here, guys, in the Ultra Cup King Series tournament. A huge congratulations to Middle State, because this game is just so successful in the sense that players are just alive. They're just showing their competitiveness. And for Divs, Cod, and Davs, they get to live another zone. They get to make those rotations successfully. But getting focused and their mats running thin. They need to start picking up eliminations. They see the next opposition. There's a player in front of them. They get the tags, they get the elimination, and they get the knock, and now they can continue with the rotations. But Card is going to get taken down. Dirks is literally the only player who can potentially make the rotations, as Davs is one tap. He's literally a smith of HP. He gets knocked, and it's now down to Divs as a solo to make the rotations, and that's not what he expected from such a powerful rotation from them. You go over to Rejects and them to see what is happening, and yet again, Travis is going to find himself eliminated on the rotations. Rejects is going to find himself getting knocked right now. The Cub left alone as a solo, so a lot of these teams losing their crucial players. But I did mention the Cub in game number 1 being an excruciating pain when it comes to fighting because he's just so talented at that. Let's see what he's able to do as a solo. Not that much HP at hand and only 14 builds to his name. He uses the harpoon, but nothing really there for him to grab onto. Players in front of him, and now he needs to chop away through hard mats, and that's not easy. He does find a player in that he can get elimination. He changes his focus behind. He needs that finish, and he gets it indeed. He harpoons his through the builds, but it's not enough as he gets hunted down and gets eliminated. And that's gonna be a GG's out from him. We go see whether or not anyone else is alive in this one in the end games, and unfortunately it isn't gonna happen. But we have Steady and them on the height over here trying to do their level best. Will they get the victory is the question. It does look like they have the advantage, and it is indeed not gonna go to them. Unfortunately, we're not sure who won the game, but it is an anonymous player. We'll be able to see the points in the end over there, so let's see exactly what that would mean for them. But man, what a game! 33 players to the very third moving zone, if I'm not mistaken, guys. I haven't seen that happen here in Fortnite South African history, but it's now a point and valid thing here in the middle state. So let's see exactly what will be happening with the next set of games. But talk about a dominance coming out from Dibs and them. Those rotations were really successful in the way that they made them work, and the eliminations counted, the way they dropped the players into the box. It was sad to see going over to Reapsy's POV that he had already been eliminated, as well as just Travis and Rejects falling short and the Cuff left as a solo. But he picked up an elimination, and we got to see a little bit of his skills, even though he was pushed against the wall because he had no mats to work with. He didn't have the HP to do what he's capable of doing. We're going to have to wait and see exactly who won that game, what the standings look like. But we'll be taking a little bit of a short break. Before we do, there is a giveaway that's currently happening right now. So make sure you guys type !King Series in the chat. And if you guys want to enter the other giveaway that is currently present for social media, take a picture watching the stream, go over to Twitter, tag Metal State, tag King Price, use hashtag King Series, use hashtag the King of Gaming, and use hashtag Forge Ultra Cup, and then you'll be given the entry into the ticket, guys. Amazing scenes coming out from Fortnite South Africa. But we're gonna have to take a break while we set up game number 3. So don't go anywhere, as we will also be announcing the winner for the Funko Pop Team Cuddle Bear, as well as a cap out from King Price. We'll be right back.
What we do here is go back.
Welcome back, guys, to the Metal State Ultra Cup that we have on our hands. It is the King Series brought to you by King Price Insurance, and a segment being Fortnite. And I have to admit, these are some of the most entertaining games that we've had in a very long time. Yes, we've had stat games, but to this level of excitement, oof, it's been interesting. It's been interesting. Lots of talks as well, with the likes of Travis dying quite early in the rotation, and then a bit of a tough one for Reepsy so far for game 1 and 2. But hopefully we are seeing a comeback game 3, 4, and 5, because technically if you win 3 out of the 5 games or do well 3 out of the 5 games, you can then be good on the leaderboard. So let's see what happens with them on the rotations for game number 3. Wishing them the best of luck. And then the likes of Bravo and them, they're also making some huge comebacks, guys, and we get to see what that is looking like on the leaderboard in just a second. But before we go over there, guys, we want to say congratulations to Ruan the Boss, because he actually walks away with a Team Cuddle Bear Funko Pop and a King Prize cap for winning the second prize of the giveaways that we have for the viewers. If you guys want to win yourself a giveaway, don't worry. We have the next prizes open up for you guys. You can see that happening over there. So what you want to do is type again !King Series in the chat, in the stream, and then you guys will be entered into the giveaway. But not only that way, guys, if you don't manage to win the final giveaway we have for you guys, there's also the first mechanic that you guys can go and do is take a picture of yourself watching the stream, tag Middle State as well as King Price Insurance, and use hashtag King Series as well as hashtag the King of Gaming and hashtag Forge Ultra Cup to win. The winner will be announced at the end of the stream. So we have the third giveaway up and open for you guys, which will be !King Series. So that is what we have. And then if you look, guys, at the standings of the leaderboards right now, in first place, we're going to have Punishers XWRG, which actually is a consistency of gameplay coming out from Ginger, Crispy, and Jamie with 56 points. But not far behind them, guys, is Storm, Testros, Chimp, and Keaton with 19 eliminations and 49 points in overall total. In third, guys, it's going to be MMN Man, which is Latte Steady and Popcool. So they managed to come out second last game with a hefty amount of eliminations, now sitting in 46 points. But behind them, guys, is now in fourth place with a victory royale winner coming out from them, Neymar, Scara, and Woke with 11 eliminations and 36 points. In fifth place is going to be Nunclaw, guys, which is going to be Spooky, CK, and Lurker with 34 points. Ayanda is going to be in sixth as well, tied with 34 points. Behind them is RDT, which is the Cav, Rejects, and Travis with 31 points. And then in 8th is going to be ZZZ, which is Warrior, Zorio, and Xylo with 31 points. In 9th is going to be Best with 29 points. In 10th is going to be Light, XFA, XNV, which is going to be Light Card, Dives, and Dibs. So that is what we have for you guys on the overall standings of the leaderboard right now, going into game number 3, which, by the way, the games will be starting in just about a minute. But talk about a victory royale for name on them, really starting to find a pace, starting to find a gameplay, and a fourth place in game at the end of game number 2 is really not so bad at all. So let's see exactly what it means for them going into the next games that we have. Game 3, 4, and 5 are just about to set a new chapter, a new story that we have in the Fortnite ZA community. It is a comeback of note coming out from the community like Neymar, Woke, and Scara. So let's see what happens over there. It would be interesting to find out But we're gonna go jump on board, guys, with the gameplay. Hopefully, the games have been launched and these guys get to jump out the battle buses. So, yep, we're going to jump on board, guys, with gloves in them to see exactly what is happening with their POV. A good drop spot coming in. Again, Dirty Dog seems to be the location that they'll find themselves in. And they somehow always walk out with insane amounts of loot. But Jojo, Paris, and Buzzy have been finding themselves in an off-spawn situation here at Corny. I don't think for this game, though, that they'll find anyone to fight. You can see he is tagged up quite a bit, but nothing really surreal is gonna happen at Corny, I don't think. Yeah, still a couple people around, but really nothing on them direct, as we did see in the previous game coming out from Jojo, Buzzy, and Paris on the off-spawn situation. This time around, they don't have the full trio being alive. I mean, this time around, they have the full trio being alive, which is a good thing, and he can get to heal up and use and mat up and everything. So really good coming from an off-spawn situation. Hopefully they get to pop off over there and really dominate. So let's see exactly what happens with the gameplays going forward. And you can see Travis, Rejects, and the Cuff really haven't popped off the way we come to love to see the team do so. I mean, they coming into this tournament as champions in the local scene, you know, with a good win ratio so far for them. So really questions what is happening, why is the gameplay not exactly what we expect. All it takes really is one good pop off and they're back on that first place position that we get to see them on most of the time. So hopefully they're able to do exactly that this game number 3. Yes, guys, you heard that correct. It is game number 3. You guys can enter into the giveaways that is currently present by using !King series, as well as taking yourself a picture watching this live stream, post on social media at Middle State, as well as at King Price Insurance, and use the hashtags King Series, hashtag the King of Gaming, hashtag Forge Ultra Cup, and that will get you to enter the giveaway mechanics that we have right now. So for Travis, it is a hopeful dream that they get to pop off this time around, and hopefully we get to see that coming out from them. So it would be an interesting game to see them not dominate when things haven't really looked too well for them. That motivation starts to kick in, and that grinder will to actually get a decent game is present for these guys, and they will start to really want to dominate. So Travis, the Cub, and Rejects have that mentality, and I can back it up saying that, you know, these guys will go the extra lengths to try win this game, as well as for the players Reapsy and them, which is, you know, needing to win the next set of games, and the next set of rotations just haven't been there for them. You know, they were landing at Boney Burbs for the past couple of seasons and for the very longest time, but they actually switched it up and went all the way to Steamy Stacks, and Steamy Stacks was where they started to chill out and started looting up, but that's just been for this weekend alone. And you know, the only reason why they did come to this area is so that they can just make a quick rotation to Catty or whatever the case may be for the zones. And by the looks of things, they just haven't gotten zone. So they've been in a tough position where zone has not been on their side. RNG on this weekend has been quite terrible at Steamy Stacks, but you can see that rotation goes all the way to Catty, so yeah, you can cross what I just said. So yeah, the goal was for them is to get a better rotation onto Catty, and they do so Indeed. Let's go jump on board, guys, with Travis just to see what's happening with them right now on the rotations. Still very much safe. Only one player has been eliminated on game number 3. So yet again, guys, we will be having a stack of a zone. In fact, 3 players getting eliminated now, and we're down to 72 players on the screen. But guys, 72 players will still mean that the games are going to be heavenly stacked yet again going into the end game. Jojo Paris looking very much happy with how things are looking out for them, and then they can make the rotations there either way. If we look at Puds, E-Take, and Snake, they look like they're gonna go into some fighting situation in the off spawn. Let's see what happens over there. Just farming up still, getting as much max as they can possibly. So let's see what the play is going to be for them. 2 minutes and 58 seconds until that zone starts to shrink, and with 72 players still alive, that is kind of shocking. This is game number 3. This is like the pinnacle point in every Fortnite South African tournament. You know, like if game 3 is yet again a replica of what has been happening, I'll be shocked. The Fortnite Ultra Cup will then go down really as one of the stackest games throughout the entire games that we are present. Because usually the case, it's game 3 where they start to W key and start picking up the kills and so forth. We're down to 70 players. It does look like Light CK and them are on the move to try to get some elimination. So that's going to be really juicy for them. Let's see if they can keep up that consistency and gameplay overall. And now we get to see them just farm up all their mat counts, and E-Take and them should be in a good position. But the team that could be around them actually, guys, could be potentially Perv. And we see Perv and them here at the Airo base positioned above Weeping. So questionable if they were down at Weeping anyways. A good location to get like a bird's eye view onto the players. 64 players remaining, and yeah, the pace is present just like I predicted. Players are starting to fall down now. Players are starting to get eliminated, and that is the sort of traditional cycle in every Fortnite South African tournament. Is game 1 and 2 is like the games where they really want to focus up and try get as much points as possible. And ooh, what do we have over here? Glubs and Psycho sort of in a tough position. Has Psycho has been eliminated off spawn, and I thought Dirty Doc's been an uncontested area, but contestation definitely happening, and now they need to make that rotation just outside of this area. Hopefully they will be able to get that card. Just trying to keep a POV on the players without really giving himself off, and hopefully that really is what will be happening. Just getting some cover in, but that zone is gonna start shrinking in about 1 minute and 50 seconds. So they gotta do something, if they want to do something, they have to do it now. Good tags coming out from Demos, Brightsy, and Energy onto vehicles. Ooh, he's gonna get tagged up. He should build, and he does so, but a bit of late reaction out from them. He's gonna use a big pot to get his HP back in order, so that should be good coming out from him. Let's see exactly what will be happening going forward for the team. Just a couple shots being fired. Nothing surreal just yet. Still so much room to make some rotations to get into the zone. Still so much time as well. 42 seconds is a lot to play with. And they rotate just outside Misty, which is also the new home to Neymar, Woke, and Scorer, as they also make that decision to sort of rotate out from Believer because it's never in zone. They go over to Misty where they can now make the rotations over there. Good tags coming out. Nice 51 damage. Ooh, 70. Ricey picking up some good tags for the team in case Surge will be active in some way. Going all the way to Catty, which is quite close to the territory of Travis and them. Let's go jump aboard of Travis just to see exactly what is happening. And maybe Piv needs to make a run or a dash because he can't get shot. So it does look like right now Travis and them are located all the way on top of Weather Station, and a good location to find themselves in. Travis in the top, looking to find some eliminations over here. And this is where I told you guys the pace really starts to be seen. They're going in for the full key over here, and they get this elimination. They get the knock over there. They tag and scan the oppositions around so they can try get some more eliminations, and hopefully they do so. In the midst of things, this is looking good for them. The Cov also picks up eliminations, so now they're sitting on 2 eliminations as a whole, and that's really good for them because the kill points matter the most over here, guys. If you are going into endgame with little to nothing on hand, it means nothing. But now the team have 2 kills, and they start to dominate just a bit. Shadow floppers present for them so they can go through with a shadow strat if need be. Something that we don't really get to see too much. But out from Warrior and them, we get to see that all the time. So let's see what happens now. Looking really, really solid for a true comeback on the leaderboard. Reapsy, Delex, and Tem in the zone just across Rita Row. They can make the rotations from here outwards. 60 players still remaining. So only 15 have been eliminated for the past couple minutes. And really, that is quite juicy that we have. So for 15 minutes, the games have been going on. We've got another 10 remaining. And we get to see who will be walking away with the victory win. If we look now over to Jojo, Buzzy, and Paris, we get to see them in a good position of note. So they're rotating still. They're just about to get into zone, and they may be tickled with a little bit of Storm Surge, but it's fine. And if you look over here, guys, E-Take, Potash, and them are getting some kills. They're getting some knocks. They are W keen as well. They get straight in there, and it's on to Perv. Perv and them not looking too safe, as they already got one, they already got two, and now they're hunting for the third. But they need to slow down as Batoshi's healing and State as well. But it does look like they finally pick up everything they need. So 2 eliminations to their name right now as it stands, or even 3 potentially. Well done and a successful GG's to them. They go in, they take advantage of the situations they find themselves in, and now they get some kill points going into the end game, and that is a massive GG's all around. We go over to Ricey, Deimos, and them. They're trying to harpoon some loot, and they do so successfully. And this is what we were talking about earlier. We get to see the harpoon in action, and just look at how it springs all the mats and weapons and stuff from that position. They get into a closer view. They want some charges, and everything. They want everything, and that's a huge refresh, you know, going into the games. Let's go see what's happening with Glubs. If Glubs, Psycho, and Moabs manage to come back into the game. And they did indeed. So Psycho, Ace, and Glubs back into the games yet again, guys. A bit of fire everywhere. And craziness is happening. But look at the mat count, guys. No heartbreak at all. Psycho chooses to make the decision to disengage towards the right side, which by all means is successful. Still a very decent game on our hands that we have over here as well, guys. AC knocks out a player? Weird. Now they're going for the W key because they can get these eliminations. They know they're 1 player down. They want these kills. Nice tag. Manages to crack him. Oh, and he gets the pump. Gloves with the switch off stare. And plays it to his advantage. He's got some floppers to work with. Chug splashes as well. The zone is sticking for 5. He needs to get in right now. Still more players above, but they use the launch pad to disengage. They break the player, they get the elimination, and it's Ace with more kills. And this is how you turn things around. They saw what they needed to do and they did it successfully, but now they put themselves in a sticking position as they are server focused over here. Ace is literally a slither of HP. They need to change who or what or how these things are looking out for them. Nice 36 from the team, and it does look like they will get in zone anytime now. Team is safe. They get into old players tops, and look at that. Zone is gifted to them, but no, there's an enemy just hiding in between there. Psycho gets out of this one, and now Gloves needs to do so himself. Gets tagged up a bit. Good charge from him, and he Gloves the player. He's going in with a Psycho 1v2, but unfortunately, Gloves is going to get knocked, and things are just not going to look too good for them, as now Psycho is left alone, has a solo, and the server focus was just not in their favor. Yes, they got those eliminations, but it came at a hefty price of being focused by the entire lobby, losing out on a lot of HP. That meant they now struggled to get into the next zone and struggled to stay alive. And Jojo, Buzzy, and Paris, again, staying safe, trying to be on the edge of rotations over here. We saw the same rotations coming into play last time around, and we see it yet again. Good dead side rotation, not using any of their mats, not being focused at all. They now start to build, and they get into the 50-50 zone. With 47 players remaining, we will be getting a late game surge, and oh, that's a good tag, but no, he gets tagged up from left, right, and center. The team is quite low now, and now Paris is also an HP of 10. Buzzy gets eliminated, Jojo gets eliminated, Paris is healing up. But for how long will he stay alive? He wants to drop down to try stay alive so that maybe he can get revived. But Paris is healing by all means. And now he gets the revive. He's got 5 more seconds on that to get him successfully in the map. He's got medkits and minis to stay alive over here, so that's good for him. And they got the first moving zone, so they got so much time on their hands to really start making those rotations work out for them. Let's go over to Puds, E-Tech, and State to see what's happening with them and how they are playing out. It does look like they also get advantage of first moving zone. They will be placing a launch pad over here to make the zone rotation, and hopefully a short launch being played out. They're going in for the chop play, but it doesn't work, and they are below damage. They use the launch pad, they fly. He goes all the way into zone, but he can still use his medkits because being ahead of zone means exactly that. But they are separated right here, guys. Potosh, not really with his full trio, and he needs to meet up if he wants to guarantee some more placement points. Working together in a trio team-based mode means exactly that. So they get out of here, but they are still getting focused quite heavily, and they need to make the rotations out of that position successfully. We go over to Rejects, Travis, and the Cub, and we are looking at the Shadow Flopper play. So many players in the sky, chat. They're flying above, they're using the strats to their advantage, and they're getting so much placement points to their name right now. The Cub, Rejects, and so many others still in the sky, playing it safe right now. Surge is active, but they don't need to worry about that one, as now the Cub and Rejects sort of build up, and they can focus on height right here. This is going to be good for the teams. There's so much kills available for them. A height build going into play, and they need to drop down, and you can see them do exactly that. They meet up together. The Cub almost gets eliminated, and they're on the very heights of heights right now. Good tags onto the oppositions, onto height. And let's go see Reepsy, see how he's doing. Still in the game as well, still alive, and a comeback from Travis and Reepsy, the two separate teams. Still alive in the map, guys. So we are going to be seeing an intense end game, a battle between Titans who will be walking out with a victory royale winner. We want to see those predictions from you guys. You guys can start predicting right now. Who do you think will win game number 3? Travis, Rejects, and the Cub, or Reepsy, Tem, and the Lex. And just look at that. He picks up himself another elimination. He's got that charge, charging and hissing away in case he sees another opposition trying to make the rotations. Another player, he gets the piece control onto him. He jumps straight into it. He charges that rifle. He gets eliminations, and it's E-Take. It's Potosh who gets eliminated, and Reepsy and them are really starting to dominate. They're really starting to do so well, and now as we turn things down to the rotation, we start to mellow down, we start to get hopeful that a comeback is setting tone for such a team. And if you go see the other team that was on high, Travis and them, to see whether or not they're still alive in this one. They are indeed, but however, the Cub has been taken down, so it's a duo versus a trio, and I think things are looking really well for Reepsy, Tem, and Delex as they continue to dominate as a trio. Let's see what happens. Travis and Rejects dropping down a couple layers down below, trying to get into a good layer for themselves. The mat count not looking too good. Rejects now needs to build. They need to go in for the frag over there, and doesn't look like the team have any mats. Players on the outskirts where they can pick up some kills. Travis trying to look out for eliminations, but unfortunately, he's going to get hit so hard, and he's going to get taken down to the storm. So that is going to be a GG's out from him. And then if you look at Reepsy, Tem, and Delex, ooh, it's just Tem left alone as a solo. He doesn't have that much HP. He jumps straight into the box. And what can he do over here? He does get the knock, but oh, he goes down into the pits of hell where there's so much more players. And we are seeing these guys sort of dominate from the first moving all the way on height. players dropping left, right, and I think that was just Rejects who got eliminated. Now onto the low ground. It is going to be a one-on-one situation, but it gets taken down to the Storm, and this is Sterry and them who have now jumped to the top of the leaderboard, who are in its very last moment, but it does look like he's going to get taken down to the Storm, and it's Energy, Ricey, and Deimos who actually come through with a win out from them, and we can see that display on screen out for us, guys. Ricey, Energy, and Deimos with a victory royale, and look at how many eliminations that is going to be. 6 kills, and now, like, we're in this position where Reepsy and them did so well, but was it enough going into game number 3? Will they continue to stay consistent, as well as the likes of Travis, the Coven Rejects? We saw them really do the flopper strat, or the shadow flopper strat, go all the way to the tops of the map and glide their way slowly down. Oppositions had the same strategy in mind. They were fighting out for height, used a lot of builds in those moments, and then when it came down to the serious part of endgame, they had little to nothing to work with. We saw Travis being pressured, trying to get elimination so that he can refresh his mats, but unfortunately, he had fell short and got eliminated either way, and it was all left down to Rejects, which I think they placed 4th or 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. And then a well done to Stereo for the consistency that we are seeing out from that team. We did see them on the leaderboard at 3rd place, if I'm not mistaken, but now we're going to be looking at the leaderboard at the end of the Be Right Back, which we'll be getting into shortly. Remember, guys, you can use !King series to enter into the giveaway that's currently happening right now. But the most important part is going onto social media, taking a picture of this stream, tagging Metal State as well as King Price Insurance, and use the hashtag King Series, hashtag the King of Gaming, and hashtag Forge Ultra Cup. Guys, we'll be taking a short break while we set up game number 4. There's still 2 more fun-packed action games to come through, game 4 and game number 5, before we can conclude the Season 2 winners of the Forge Ultra Cup that we have on our hands, brought to you by Middle State, powered by King Price, and we'll be jumping into that short break right now.
What we do here is go back.
And we are back, guys, with the gameplay, the competition, the Fortnite Ultra Cup hosted by Middle State, powered by King Price. And today, guys, is one of their segments on the King series that is actually happening on the Middle State website. So if you guys are interested in competing, whether it is Dota, Fortnite, not too kind of sure of the other titles, but make sure you guys go over to Middle State either way. There's a bunch of tournaments happening daily, which you guys can then enjoy. But today, guys, we're going to be focusing on the splendid, superb tournament that we have, which is going to be the Fortnite Ultra Cup. And the games that have been displayed were out of this world, and it can't be neck for neck the way it is right now. I'm looking at that standings, and we're going to show it in a second or two, but it is so very close to first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So this game is going to be very much crucial. These guys are going to need to control the way they play the next couple of rounds, because there's only two more left. Round 4 and round 5, game 4 and game 5, and this, the one we're about to jump in, is game number 4, guys. But before we do, guys, there's a giveaway that is currently live right now, and you guys can use !King Price So King Series, exclamation mark King Series, sorry, King Series in the chat right now, and you guys will be entered into the giveaway. But most importantly, guys, go on to social media, go on to Twitter, tag Metal State, tag King Price Insurance, and take a picture of yourself watching this splendid stream that we have right now, and use hashtag King Series, hashtag the King of Gaming, and hashtag Forge Ultra Cup to win. So it's literally that simple. If you guys want to enter over there, would love to see your guys' entries and how you guys enjoying. Whether it is having popcorn on the table or having your nails bit off because of such exciting, nervous gameplay, it's fine. Just show us exactly how you guys are watching the stream on social media. But let's go over, guys, and look at that price that we have for the final, the third prize overall. It is a Funko Pop, as well has a cap that you'll be walking away, and the winner will be announced at the end of game number 4. So at the end of the Be Right Back screen. And then, guys, if you look at the standings that we have on board for you guys, we are looking at first place being Man, where they've just shown consistency, and we saw that team sort of clutch up a lot of points. So Latte, Steri, and Popcool really doing the most right now and staying consistent in some way, form, or matter. And then WRG, Stormtestros, Chimp, and Keaton in second place. But guys, there's a tie. It's 71 points for first. It's 71 points for second. This is as close as the tournament will get in terms of points right now. And just look at the eliminations. Stormtestros and them are walking away with 31 eliminations. That is absolutely crazy. Not far behind, guys, it's going to be Ginger, Crispy, and Jamie with 68 points. So, really, guys, the tournament is neck for neck right here. And then in fourth, we're going to have Bravo, which is Neymar, Scara, and Woke. In fifth, we're going to have Warrior, Zorro, and Xylo with 53 points. So, really, game 4 is that point right now where things really start to change. Things start to look very hectic for these players because that top 5 is looking so very much close. And then in 6th, it's going to be RDT, Rejects, The Cov, and Travis with 46 points. Ayanda in 7th. In 8th place is Ait for Height, which is going to be on 39. Punishers XFA is going to be on 36 points in 9th place. And in 10th, it's going to be Punishers X Light XFA in 10th place over there with 36. So top 10 can really improve their placements because really it's the prize pool that these guys are working towards, and top 10 do get that prize pool earnings, but it's where first to third really looks juicy. And we're going to be jumping on board with the games right now, guys. So let's go see exactly what the games are all about and how these games are looking like. So jumping on board with Piv, HBK, and Smiling, we get to see exactly what that is going to be for them. So, landing at IO base right now, we do see a couple guys quite close to them. We're going to be see them landing at Weeping as well. It doesn't look like E-Take and them are actually at that location. If we go over to E-Take, which they're not streaming their POV right now, we'll get them to stream their POV soon. We'll see exactly what happens over there. But if we go over to their POV now, we get to see that open and done and dusted for you. So it doesn't look like E-Take, State, and Potash will be going towards the Weeping Woods like we did see them previously. In fact, they're at the orange markings over here to be in a good position for themselves. Let's see what will happen going into the games though. So I see Deimos and Energy, previous game winners, guys. They walk out already clutching up game number 3. Can they somehow stay consistent game 4 to sort of bring back a comeback of note? Imagine that is the scenes, and they actually, it does really happen. It does come into play where, you know, they do get that elimination and so forth. And if you look over as well, guys, Puds, E-Tech, and State, in fact, maybe even Jojo, Buzzy, and Paris, hopefully we do get to see them in some action. It does look like they're not going to be landing at the preferred location at Corny. In fact, they're going in for the W key. Let's see what happens over here. So going in full force. Gonna bump into the building. Ramp up. 22 builds to his name. He looks back. Trying to get an Elam. Does get a good knock. Oh, and it's a piece control. This is a violation. And he gets that elimination onto Slane. And Slane gets taken out of this one. He takes a victory dance on that elimination. A well-deserved one as well. As he puts his player in a little bit of a form of a box. And sends him back to the lobby. And there's a bird there just to say, well done on that. And look at the loadout that he will be having right now. Purple Spies. And they get the full 3 eliminations onto the opposition right there. So that's going to be GG's all in all. And well done to Jojo, Buzzy, and Paris. They definitely looking to doubly key a lot more on the map. And that's going to be interesting to see exactly what the locations and the rotations will be for them now going into the future. But if you guys do remember, we did see a Psycho, Gloves, and Ace in a sticky one last game where Psycho was actually knocked here in Dirty Docks. It doesn't look like they're actually being contested, and maybe it was a matter of a team rotating into the area to pick up some eliminations, and they did do that onto Psycho, so Psycho did get himself in a top position. If we go back over to Perv, we get to see him in a fighting position here at Weeping. Let's see exactly what happens with the team if they are able to clutch up. He has that edit ready for them, and he gets a good pump, but not really significant enough for them to deal the damage across over there. Just farming up as much mats as he can. He does have only 7 builds to his name, so he needs to make sure that if he does go into a fighting position, that he fights with caution, because those mat counts looking quite terrible. Getting in those petrol canisters to alight a fire and put pressure onto the opposition. Only 5 builds, and if things start to get hectic for them, we may see them get out of this position, maybe smoke them out of the fighting. But it does look like maybe there will be a third party getting involved over here, guys. And for Perv, Smiling, and HBK, it's not really where you want to be positioning yourself, especially with such little mats to his name. This is not really the gameplay you would want. Trying to find a peak or POV where he can get some eliminations and start to shake up the boots of the opposition, put that on ammunition onto the players over here in Weeping, farming up, taking what's his, and making sure he piece controls. But will they get the eliminations is the question. Slow fight happening right now. Let's see what happens. Definitely not being too aggressive, as I would too. Not that much mats. I keep mentioning mats being a crucial part of this game. If you are unable to build, then it's just going to be a GG's all around. But the situations doesn't seem to be alighting anything, so we'll go over to Pud's E-Tech and stay to see exactly what is happening over there, and then we get to see them rotate. They load out looking very decent. Let's see what goes into play. Paris finally gets an elimination, so we move over from Paris and them to missing out on action from Jojo, and it does look like they're going into a battle over here. Keeping it safe. It is Buzzy being eliminated. making the rotations in what seems to be chaos, catastrophe, and it doesn't look too good as the players are just making the rotations as well with their vehicle, trying to get out of this position, but Paris is going to be knocked. It's now Buzzy and Jojo who needs to make the rotations alive, but it doesn't look too well for them. He does Beast Controller player. He's got that elimination in the bag, and it goes down, this elimination, but I think that was Rejects, Travis, and them. It was actually Reepsy who managed to pick up that eliminations over there, but now they gotta go and revive the players Temperat. So that was really close and something that could have really been an issue for Reepsy, but he picks up those eliminations, and that's 3 in the bag this very early. So successfully, well done to them. Jojo and them dead. So we go over to Ricey, Deimos, and Energy to see exactly what's happening. And we do apologize for that little mix match, finding a POV for you guys, but we found one right now. The Cub, Energy, and Deimos doing exactly that and making the rotations where they can best find themselves in a good position. Let's see what happens with the players though. So, winners, game number 3, rotating successfully in game number 4, and you know they could potentially do just as good in game number 4 if things go in favor of them. Already it is looking quite juicy. You know, they are in zone, they are safe from everyone else. I don't feel as if anyone should be quite close to them, but they are safe. They are very much passive players, so they don't really look at anything like in regards to finding some oppositions on the map. So Deimos and them have everything in their odds to win game number 4, depending on how those zone rotations are looking like, depending on whether Deimos or Energy also have a launch pad, because those are the crucial items we'll need going into the end game as well. But I'm liking that they have some chug splashes, a charged shotgun, big parts, minis, and everything. And Ricey, who we're spectating right now, is a spectacular player with a shotgun at hand. But with a charge, we're going to have to wait and see whether or not. And and just when I mentioned launch pads, we see Ricey mark one, and they're going to go and loot that one up quickly, get themselves a beautiful launch pad for themselves so that they can continue that rotation going into the positions. So let's see exactly what happens with them and how things turn out. But for Puds, E-Tech, and State, they're also still alive in this one here at Weeping now, managing to make those rotations in. This is looking much more better for them. We're down to 54 players, and the action is still very much there, guys. And things are looking very juicy. Let's see whether or not if he can stay consistent in some way, form, or matter. So E-Tech and them can rotate successfully. Let's go over to Glubs, guys. Glubs, Ace, and Psycho still need to show us some major pop-off, and maybe we see that here, guys, where they're sort of in a mid-game fight right now, taking on the fight here just outside Misty, and this could be potentially onto Ricey and them, if I'm not mistaken. Ricey and them were just here a second ago. I just want to jump on board with Ricey to see if it is them or not, guys, because they were in that position earlier on, and no, it isn't. Luckily, game 3 winners are still very much alive, still very much in this one, so they can stay in the contention for making a comeback. Hopefully things still come into play for them. You can see Gloves and them taking on the action. They get into the box, but it's Psycho who's left alone in there. They pick up one, they take the other, and that's a full elimination. Team wipe coming into action. Yes, they need to revive Psycho and as well as heal up, but nobody is focusing them, so they're not going to be in a top position making this decision now in game number 4. We did see in game number 3, however, the team went in for the W key, and then moments later, the entire lobby was focusing them on those rotations, and they just found themselves in a very, very sticky situation. But now they get 3 eliminations, they get a little bit of a pop-off for themselves, and they look successful in terms of how things can play out for them. Hoping that, Glove Psycho and them really do well this time around. They will need the games. They have launch pads, they also have chili chugs and everything to work off. So let's see what happens with them and how they work the gameplay. But so far, it is going to be a successful game for them. We go over to Reapsy just to see what Reapsy is doing. And Reapsy is located in zone, center zone, just outside Misty, focusing on the players rotating. They look very much happy with how things are looking for, and that's a 20 white. They can get an elimination, but it is at a far distance. Unless they focus these players, it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. And ooh, the knock comes in. They just need to get the elimination right now, and that's the kill point. Reezy, Tem, and Delex looking so strong, focusing onto those players over there. They're gonna get a third party right over here, so maybe they can pick up more eliminations onto the teams that are in the water. Players making some launch pad plays. Reezy is able to tag up for 60, but unable to connect any more shots onto the onto the players who are rotating. Good tags for them either way. And 20 damage onto them. Good stuff coming out from them. We saw Piv earlier on in the battle at Weeping, but we see them yet again, and they are very much alive on the outskirts, on the edge of zones. Mat counts looking decent, loadout looking decent, so not as troubled as they were off spawn. And the fight that they had was taking quite some time, but we do see them with an elimination. So I wonder if they managed to finally engage with that team. Let's see whether or not they can continue being consistent in their rotations and staying alive, because game number 4. Remember, top 10 guys walk away with prize money. So there's still a lot of opportunity for these guys to somehow claim top 10 if they get a huge pop of game number 4 and a consistent game number 5, because top 10 is not too far out of league. A good game means you're back in it easily. But for the current top 10, it's the eyes on the big money prize pool, that first place position, and hopefully we get to see that come into effect at any time. But now we're making the rotations, and we see these guys edge of zone, Potash, E-Take, and State, with not that much to their name. That's why they're farming up edge of zone, trying to stay away from everyone else. They look very much troubled on mat count, and if you look, 396 wood, 197 brick, 116 metal. They're going to need to get a refresh somewhere on the rotation for endgame. If you guys are in the stream, make sure you guys use !King Series so that you guys can enter into the giveaway that we currently have running. It is a Funko Pop as well, has a cap from King Price. So make sure you guys are using !King Series in the chat for all of you guys that are spectating right now. And you guys could walk away with the giveaway at the end of game number 4. We will announce that for you guys. So yeah, make sure you guys are doing exactly that. But now, Potash, E-Take, and State make these rotations and farm up into the buildings successfully. So that's going to be good for them. Hopefully they stay alive. It's all about just being present. Gloves is so aggressive this game. You do see the team trying to take on every fight possible, but Ace is now going to find himself being knocked, and they drop down trying to get the reds or the revive over here. They are going to get W keyed quite a bit as well. They need to be safe on how they play this one out. Hopefully they do get Ace back into a winning fighting position. Remember, guys, with SCOM the around the corner and happening, you got to ensure your equipment. So make sure you guys got to ensure your equipment with King Price. It is literally the best price for the gaming industry. So if you got computers that are around, you do not want to risk the surge happening into your PC and frying your motherboard. So make sure you guys ensure your PCs, mobile, so anything you have with King Price is the best way to go. The King Gaming. So now we are here with 41 players remaining. Let's see what will happen in the King Price King Series Fortnite Ultra Cup game number 4, guys. Still very much alive and active with competitive players trying to grab or grasp the remaining points here for game number 4. Oh, good tags indeed. So Gloves cycling them very active, trying to get as much eliminations as they can possible. We see Reapsy Deluxe with 5 eliminations now, and also in a really good position for height. They can walk away with the win if everything goes in their favor. It's not going to be an easy one, but it will be a successful congratulations if they manage to walk away with a victory royale. We haven't seen that happen just yet, but we have seen some consistent gameplay, seen the team go all the way to the very end. However, just falling short in the rotations due to some unforeseeable circumstances that they find themselves in. So hopefully now we get to see Reapsy, Tem, and Deluxe sort of walk away with a win this time around, and players rotating in the sky, an opportunity for Reapsy and them to absolutely beam and try get some eliminations. Hopefully as well they get the first moving zone, because that would be where the crucial part lies. Beautiful. They get another elimination. I think it's possible that they can get that finish. Somewhere down the line it will have to happen, because I don't see him actually making the rotation to his team. If they do, that'll be somehow surprising. King Series in the chat, guys, if you guys want to enter into the giveaway that's currently live right now. It does look like one thing though, guys, is that the team do not have a lot of AR ammo going into the next zone. So literally only a full clip to work with, and you know, being on heights is an opportunity to grab so many eliminations. But this time around they only have one clip and the other teammate has 11 bullets. So focusing players is just not going to be the key role, and they're going to find themselves, you know, struggling to get all the eliminations possible. Hopefully we get to see them successfully either way grab heights and grab placement points. Perv and them make that rotation in the sky. Surge warning gets onto the screen, but for Perv, they happy and safe with everything is happening right now. So we see the rotations coming into play right over here, and they have another launch pad that they can hog onto and make the rotations in the sky, which will be successful for them. And we go over to Gloves, Ace, and Psycho, hopefully to see them in the end games. They are very much alive, they are very much here and active. They Psycho Heighten, which maybe was not the play for them, as now Psycho gets eliminated. Gloves cracks a player, Ace gets eliminated, and now it's down to Gloves to sort of clutch up. As a solo, it's going to be very much hard with that little mats and that much players alive still in this one. He is going to get focused from left, right, and center, and he's trying to make it out alive out of this one, but he's still getting focused and targeted in these situations. He's found some time to breathe a little bit on the very much low ground over here. He sees some players, he gets a good tag. Will he get an elimination is the question. He can control how the fight is going, but he now just needs to focus on the rotation, and unfortunately we're just not going to see that come into play. Going over to game 3 winners to see if they're still alive. They are, but they've lost a player, Deimos, and it's now down to Ricey and Energy to sort of clutch up in the very stacked game that we have of game number 4. 24 players remaining, and they still very much have a lot of HP as well as mats to work with. He can chuck himself if he wants the full 100 HP. But he does find an opposition in that player's box. He needs to get out and focus on the rotation. Stay ahead of zone. Try grab as much placement points as they can possible. But he's going to get tagged up right now. And he's down to literally 58 HP. He chugs a little bit. But he's behind zone by far. And now needs to catch up to his teammates where he can breathe a little bit while he has a helping hand right over here. A top that has been led by energy. They find themselves in a good position, but now they need to farm their way through the walls, through the areas that they're in. And this is very tight situation that we find ourselves. But it's Reapsy still alive. It's Reapsy, Tem, and Delek still alive. They are indeed. They have more eliminations to work with. They have all the placements in the back pocket and maybe securing a victory royale winner. We stay on board with this team as we go into the very end of game number 4. Just farming up, making pathways for him, trying to see exactly who he can find to eliminate. But they're safe as they just rotate on the buildings over here. They have nothing to worry about. Down to 11 players. We're not sure exactly who these 11 players are, but we know that Reapsy, Tem, and Delex are alive and a part of those 11 players. Now down to 9 as these players just drop like flies, and maybe duos and solos alive, or a full trio to compete against Reapsy and Tem. We look at that kill feed, and we look at Tem and Delex really pick up the pace, pick up those eliminations, and they have double-digit eliminations going into game number 4. So this is definitely a comeback of note. Reapsy just making sure that he stays alive. He stays well in this one. He's gonna go in and try maybe even go in for a heal off. But there's players on low ground. It may potentially be a 3v3 situation as we do have 6 players remaining, and on height with only 2 builds remaining, it's going to be Reapsy. But they pick up another elimination, so now it's down to a 3v2, maybe even just a 3v4, a 2v3, and they get the win. They get the win. The Lex and Tem work so hard as Reapsy is the one who's going to go in for a heal off. He uses that med kit to try heal off, but no need, as Tem and Delex is very much trusted. And just look at how much eliminations they walk out with. 11 with Tem and Delex, 3 with Reapsy. So that is so much points that they work with, and they win that game. But you know who else is a winner, guys? Someone in the stream. Someone has successfully won the !King series, and we'll announce that one right now. Congratulations. Just a special lady has walked away with a Funko Pop and a cap of King Price. So, well, thank you to tuning into the Metal State stream and engaging with us over here. We still have the social media winner giveaway happening at the end of game number 5. So if you guys haven't already, take a picture of you watching the live stream, go onto social media, tag Metal State as well as King Price Insurance, use hashtag King Price as well as hashtag the King of Gaming, hashtag Forge Ultra Cup. I think it's actually hashtag King Series. So yeah, let's see exactly what will be happening with that one over there. But a huge GG to Reapsy, right? They game 1, 2, and 3 wasn't really present, and they needed this to sort of boost off points and get into a good position of the leaderboard. But this now shakes those standings up drastically. We've seen a huge shift, and we're only going to be seeing that in the end of the break, which we're going to get into right now. And again, just a special lady has walked away with a giveaway. You can too by going onto social media and doing exactly what I just mentioned by tagging Metal State, King Price Insurance, and using all the hashtags that are available.
What we do here is go back.
Okay, guys, it is that final last game of the Fortnite Ultra Cup, and we've come into this position with literally so much that could happen. Game number 5 is really as close as it can get in any competitive environment for Fortnite, and we get to see exactly that. But before we do, let's just say a huge thank you to each and every one of you guys that have come through, that have engaged with the giveaways and the mechanics. And remember, guys, if you are looking to ensure, whether it's a smartphone, a PC, a laptop, whatever the case may be, guys, try consider Kin Price. I really think that it's a good decision. They are here to back up esports in South Africa. Such a huge brand coming into the esports industry. I say, as gamers and viewers of esports, we need to support them back so we can continue getting more of these consistently. But guys, let's go over to that standings and let's see exactly where these players are situated. We see the first team being WRG XFA. They are sitting on 92 points and 40 eliminations. Guys, that is an average of 10 eliminations per game. They're really set. They haven't won a game, but they first because of their eliminations, because of how active they've been, and you have to give a huge GG's to them. Now down all the way in second place is gonna be Warrior, Zaro, and Xylo. The team in second is so consistent, solely based on their placements, guys. Check out their eliminations. Only 16 eliminations for 4 games. And they've really gone through with some consistency placements using the Shadow Flopper strat. We did see Travis fly all the way to the top of the map into the position to win that game, to do well in the game. But in third, guys, it's going to be Man with some consistency as well. 21 kills, 2 best placement points, 80 points for them. So really top 3 as it stands right now is so close, and anyone could be winning that game. But after a huge win coming out from Reapsy, Tem, and the Lex, they jump all the way to 4th with a 27 elimination, 75 points. So even if they also win back to back, guys, we could potentially see them being in the winning for the Fortnite Ultra Cup. In 5th place is going to be Bravo, Neymar, Scaro, and Woke. In 6th is going to be Punishers XWRG with 68 points. In 7th is going to be Ike for Height with 61 points. In 8th is going to be Ayanda with 56 points. And then in 9th is going to be Punishers XFA with 49 points. And then in 10th is going to be Best with 48 points as well, respectively over there. Remember, guys, this is your very last moment to walk away with a Fortnite Funko Pop as well as a cap coming out from King Price. What you could do, if you want to feel like a winner, just like Just a Special Lady was, just like Ruin the Boss was, is you take a picture of yourself watching the stream, tag Middle State as well as King Price Insurance, and then use the hashtag King Insurance, hashtag the King of Gaming, hashtag Forge Ultra Cup, and then you'll be entered into the giveaway, which we'll be announcing immediately after game number 5. But what are some of the theories and possibilities that could potentially happen? Is that WRG XFA, which is in first place right now, Storm Teshos, Chimp, and Keaton, they can really continue to do what they've been doing, getting those eliminations, getting those placement points, really setting a dominant game, and then going into game number 5 with everything they got and do exactly what they've been doing. A repetition of gameplay. For Warrior, Zoro, and Xylo, guys, the Shadow Flopper is working out for them. Shadow Flopper plays is basically you eat a Shadow Flopper, you become a ghost, yes, Halloween type moments, and then you go all the way to the very top of the map. And then when you're at the very top of the map, you just want to stay up there and glide your way slowly down. As the players are being eliminated, nobody's really focusing you because they're focusing on their rotations. You've seen the games. You can't really look up. There's no time to be distracted by your surroundings except for what's in front of you if in case there's an enemy lurking around to try get a sneaky pump on you. So for Zoro, Warrior, and them, it's all about trying to hog onto those placement points. A good second place, I feel, can come into play for Warrior and them because they're not picking that much eliminations. It doesn't mean that they will now jump the leaderboard. And then for Reapsy, if Reapsy wants to win this tournament, guys, he needs to go out with a bang, just like he did in game number 4, and try to win this game, guys, with game number 5. They go in with a victory royale, and they can jump the leaderboard all the way to first, depending on how Storm, Chimp, and Keaton perform. If Storm somehow dies early and they know of this, they need to pick up that pace. They need to go all guns blazing in if they want to come out first or second. So that is literally what needs to happen. But it's easy said than done, right? It's easy said than done. Yeah, that's the word, the saying. But yeah, we're gonna jump on board, guys. Game number 1 has officially launched, and we go and see exactly what Puds and the players are up to, and we get to see them out on the battlefield already in the scenes over here. So really good location for them. Buzzy actually already in a sticky situation, but unfortunately not showing their POV, so we can't really jump on board with Buzzy, Jojo, and Paris. For Piv, HBK, and Smiling, they're in a good position as well. The IO base above Weeping. And then we get to see them in that position. So let's see what happens with them going forward. And then for Punishers, Ricey, Deimos, and Energy, they're out here at Sludgy Swamp. Consistency can exist for the team. Yes, they did get a victory royale win in game number 3. Can they do it in game number 5? With this much competition still very much alive? Ooh, we're gonna have to wait and see if it's possible. But Cobra gets an elimination in the kill feed, so you love to see that one come into play. Let's see if they can stay somewhat consistent. E-Tech and them do find themselves a llama. I mean, you know how gracefully gifting a llama can be in Fortnite. Look at his RNG already. He also does have a gold pump, so he can deal the damage. You saw those headshots dealing 203 damage to the dome, so really a lot of damage that can be dealt over here. Let's see whether or not they will be able to stay somewhat consistent in game number 5. We go over and we see Buzzy, Jojo, and Paris have been eliminated off spawn, but Glubs, Psycho, and Ace causing havoc on the map for game number 4. Guys, I don't know if you noticed, but they actually engaged and interacted with Crispy, Ginger, and Jamie in the rotations over there. So those eliminations that we thought was Deimos and them was actually not. It was Crispy and them who were engaged in combat, and they had got eliminated quite sadly. But Ginger and them still very much alive in this. No, Gloves and them very much alive in this one. Getting their loadout, getting the loot and everything. Now, Dirty Dogs is hardly ever in zone. They always struggle with the zone rotations. Hopefully, this time around, they actually get to make it into the next part of things. But we've seen Big Fish, E-Tech, and Potosh taking a lot of damage over here and get some eliminations. Let's see whether or not we get to see some of these players in this very last bit. But it's game 5, guys. It's so scary. Depending on who does the best, we'll be walking away, guys, with the win. If it's Storm, with the kills that he's been getting, the consistency of W Keen, whether it is Warrior using the placement strategy and shadow flopping, or if it's going to be Reapsy with somehow grabbing a miraculous huge game and a win, then we'll be seeing that being the scenes right now. But it does look like Potosh, E-Tech, and State are going in for a fight. They're going to try grab height over here, so they go on height. It's a good pump over there from Potosh, but he still needs to deal the damage. Players now gliding all the way to the top, and Potosh is in a bullfight, and you want to get out of these situations. He does tag up the players. Nobody has been seriously hurt just yet. Goes in for the double edit, but nobody to edit onto as players drop down. And Big Fish being in a potential threat for himself, as he's all the way on low ground and his partner's all the way on height. He needs to make his way and build up, or even glide his way to the top over here. Does look like Big Fish engaging in combat. Very risky moves we're seeing from the team, but they need it. And he's trying to get that W key in. Gets into the box. Nice pump. While they're focusing on these players, they focus on the other ones, and a nice 66 coming in. They get the different angles on the players right now. Big Fish has been taking a lot of damage, and that's why we see Potosh sort of relocate himself into a better position. But now, players flying around, trying to get onto that heighted position. Looks like all players will get away without eliminating each other, which is a good thing for them. They stay alive, but it does look like Ricey, Deimos, and Energy find themselves in a tough position, but going all the way down to Sludgy Swamp to try get the revive over there. And hopefully we do get to see that. And in a fighting potentially in a fighting position, we have Glove, Psycho, and Ace here on the edge of zone. Good tag, 66 damage so far, dealt already from Gloves, getting a different peek onto the players. And now Ace and them really trying to get in as much as they can. And this is onto Rejects and them, guys. So Rejects and them really need to pull through with Reaps, and then really need to pull through with some eliminations. And it doesn't look like a coordinated fight, unfortunately, as Gloves and them dealing havoc onto this team. down to a single player, and they can't get out of this one. So I think this is Reapsy in them. Could be a tough position for them, seeing that they've already been eliminated. Trying to sweat it out, and unfortunately all players have been eliminated. And I'm not sure if that was onto Reapsy. We go have a look at Reapsy just to see if they're safe. And who? They are safe. So it isn't Reapsy, Tem, and Delex actually, guys. Ooh, that was a scary one and a misinformation coming out from me. But Delex, Tem are all safe, making the rotations on endgame over here, guys. So we get to see them live another zone in game number 5. More eliminations present for Fatash as they get 4 kills. And very much happy with how things are playing out for them. Now we get to see Potosh, E-Tech, and as well as Fish just sort of rotate. And look, they've been gifted by Fortnite gods and lords themselves. They got the llamas already. They got the gold spaz in the back pocket. They have a scar. On top of everything else, they will also be getting a drop. And this drop consists of launch pads, consists of special loadouts, but unfortunately they're gonna get the worst one, and it's gonna be a rifle, almost like a marksman rifle that isn't really preferred in the Fortnite Battle Royale. But let's see what happens here, guys, onto Gloves and them, as we did see massive eliminations come into play from them. Are they still alive? Are they still making the rotations? Are they still present? Yes, they are, but they're present in a fighting bull battle moment. And now they drop down into the position. They pick up eliminations. They got one over there, and he's been tagged up heavily. Gloves down to literally no HP, as well as Ace. And Ace could potentially get eliminated as well. And they do so indeed. It's done by Neymar, Skara, and Woe. They get eliminated out of that one, as they get bit by their very own hand of W Keen. But a huge respect and congratulations to Psycho, Gloves, and Ace, a trio that never played before, get into the competitive aspects to try dominate in the Middle State tournament. And they did really well. I would say in my books, getting those eliminations in the games that they did, and the rotations that they did play, is a GG's all around. So they walk out of this one with, you know, respect from me, as their gameplay was superb. Let's see what they can do with the official third in maybe a season 3 of Ultra Cup. I wouldn't mind a season 3, the way the games have been going on and on for now. A season 3 or a third variant of the Ultra Cup would be so amazing. Let's see what this max rotation is going to be looking like onto Potosh, E-Take, and State. They both all got 2 eliminations, so they're sitting on 4 as it stands right now. And we go over to Ricey, Deimos, and Energy, game 3 winners. And they still haven't gotten Ricey into a fighting position. And in fact, Ricey's card is all the way down into the zone, so they can't even get him back again into the fighting aspects, as players just continuously focusing them on their rotations, and they just had a tough game 5. And it is what it is, you know, it is exactly that. It is what it is. When things are not going in your favor, you will find yourself in a tough position. But it's down to Deimos as well as Energy to sort of pop off in a way, you know, to try get those consistency points, because I think a top 10 is in play over here for the team. Having already won a single game, they can really do well for game number 5 and just try hog on to the placement points. 29 players remaining. Hopefully they are able to do exactly that and walk out with some points. But I go over to Smech, Vogue, and Dan to see exactly what's happening with them. And you can see them with some decent amounts of eliminations as well. 2 kill points, that's going to be GG's. They have 6 chug splashes, which they can heal with going into the end game right now. They also do have a launch pad, which they can utilize for themselves if they need it. Right over here, let's see exactly what happens though. But it's good to see, the likes of Neymar, Woke, and Scorer really sort of find their tone. We did mention in the beginning of the stream, right, that they are a new trio. They're separated from Goliath Travers. They formed Woke, Scorer, and Neymar. But in the beginning, it was a rough patch for them, having, a lot of expectations from the Fortnite community. They didn't really bring that expectations to reality, and it was a bit of a troublesome start to their Fortnite comp. But Metal State Fortnite Ultra Cup, brought to you by or powered by King Price, sort of brings a different storytelling. Yes, it's not the best, but it's progress. They continue to improve each tournament, and they continue to find their tone as well as foot in the competitive environment. So hopefully at the end of the game, when we look at those standings, when we get the analysis of the games, we get to see exactly where they positioned and how things look out for them. "28 players remaining, still edge of zone. The zone still needs to close in. You can see them farm up, try get as much max mats as they can possibly, and we'll see them making the rotations in just a bit. But as it stands right now, still very much in a good position. We go see Rise, see Deimos and them, just in case, something has rocked up for them, and it hasn't just yet. They're still alive. They're still very much making the rotations. So we move over to Reepsy, Delex, and Tem, who potentially are looking to win this game. They don't have any eliminations, and I mentioned that if they win this game with a huge amount of kills, maybe potentially the same amount as the game number 4, then we could look at them winning the games. But maybe a third place, right? If they win this game or come second in this game with a decent amount of kills, then they come into third place. And for a good story to say a GG's for the comeback, because game 1, 2, and 3, they weren't really there. Yes, they made end game. Yes, they did well, but they didn't do to their best that they can, to which we know they can, guys. So let's see what this means for game number 5, how they make those rotations and the gameplays for them. Hopefully we do get to see a better Reepsy, Tem, and them going into the final zones. For Puds, State, and E-Take, they're still alive as well, focusing the teams that are rotating over there. And it does look like they're also looking at players rotating in the sky. So 23 tag, really decent for now as it stands. Down to 24 players. So let's see exactly what happens for these guys over here. Let's see what the players will be doing for them and how everything will be looking like. But as it stands, so far we're going into that end game. 20 seconds, by the way, guys, for things to start really happening in game number 5. It is the very last one, guys, of the Fortnite Ultra Cup that we have on our hands. Let's see what they will be capable of doing. Good focus. Will they get the 50-50 zone is the question. They do get server focused a little bit, but that's a max pool. That is a max pool on 50-50, and they now need to make that rotation all the way over there. And we can see it's about 171 meters away that they need to now make the rotation. So players already using launch pads. They can try get some eliminations, but it doesn't look like the tags are connecting just yet for them. We go over to Smeg as well as Dan and Vogue to see what's happening with them. And they got that launch pad which they've been hogging onto, not really utilizing for themselves. And now they make the rotations over here into the bridge, which is a good location you want to find yourself in. They do find height. Hopefully they keep it. Smeg, Dan, and Vogue really playing the aggressive game right here. And these are underrated players in the tournament. And I say underrated, and they get a tag of note, but they're unable to find those final tags to get the knock. More players are flying, and this could be troublesome as they hit for 25. The players one shot, they do get that elimination, and they may also just get the knock as well. The full confirmation out from the team. They do so indeed. What a aim coming out from Smeg, but he is going to be targeted by the oppositions in the map. And now we get to see an underrated team on height, guys. something that we didn't see in the Ultra Cup in the previous games. But Smeg, Dan, and Vogue really coming into the last game with all might and power to try win this one and make a name for them. Remember, this is about making names. This is about bringing in that consistency. It's about dominating, and we get to see the team do exactly that. Happy to see them on the heighter positions. If you guys don't know, if you're on height in Battle Royale, you almost guaranteed the next win. And they also somehow get gifted the first moving zone. So things are looking really well for them. Players are flying, and ooh, you don't want to fly when Smeg is looking at you because the beams could potentially come through. And I say we stick on board, guys, for once with the underdogs and the underrated players in the tournament to sort of say well done to them to making this position. Dan going in with the rotation over there, trying to secure height. And this terrain is kind of tricky for them, right? They have to make the rotations on height plays or height mountains and so forth. For Dan and them, they start to make the rotations. He's looking for the next opposition that he can beam. But I feel like for Smeg, he's a little bit too high. Needs to use hard mats if he wants to get in a better position. But there's a lot of players now also rotating and trying to make the high plays, in which we are seeing Smeg and them already on. But for now, they still control the game plays and they still control everything for them. Players still flying around about. Smeg trying to get as much as he can, and he does knock a player due to the storm, and we can't see exactly who that is, but that is going to be a huge elimination pickup. And ooh, a surprise attack from the opposition, but he cranks for mercy, he cranks for height, he cranks for his life, but it doesn't look like anything's going to happen. They're getting targeted just a bit over here from the low grounds, still in this heighter position, almost low on mats, and they need to drop down if they want to see themselves somehow remain alive. They can't get focused by low ground as they're using one layer due to the amount of mats that is left alive for them. So let's see exactly what happens. Question though, is Reapsy, Tem, and the Lex still alive in this one? Because a top 3 story would be amazing, but no, it's just Tem. It's just Tem as a solo who now needs to make miracle work for them in the endgame rotations. He is picking up some kills and does get focused. He needs to hold his bolts out, and now he's rotating with the chili pepper double movement. He doesn't have the mats to work with over here. 2 players in the way. Unfortunately, I think this is the end of the road for Tem, as he needs to get this elimination or he will be in a tough position, and we see exactly that happening. Tough rotations indeed. They get eliminated at 6th, and I think the final placement for them is going to be 4th place on the overall standings. We'll have a look though exactly where that is going to be. But for Smeg, Dan, and them, we jump on board with them. He's in a one-on-one situation. Will he clean up these pumps? He does get that wall. He now needs to reload everything of his. No match to make the rotations. He tanks Storm. He does see the play over here. He gets that elimination. Still hasn't picked up Siphon Max. He tries to get the eliminations in the zone, and somehow Ricey and them are alive in this one, guys, and they're making the rotations. How is he making it all the way to this final moment? I say that, but it gets eliminated, and it's now down to a one-on-one situation, and the anonymous player who we on board with gets that victory royale. Ooh, we're gonna have to wait and see exactly who was that in that position who managed to win. But guys, that is the end of the Fortnite Ultra Cup, brought to you by Middle State, sponsored by King Price Insurance. And I can tell you, those were some exciting games that you probably won't witness for a very long time, but we will wait and see exactly what the next moves are going to be from, the esports industry that we have right now. But a huge thank you to each and everyone that came through to support the stream, to support the competitors competing in this finals, the grand finals of 10,000 Rand. These players were competing blood, sweat, and tears to get into that first place position. And once the scores start to load in, we'll see exactly who is taking it. But remember, guys, the standings are not official until the announcements have been made out from Metal State. So if you guys want to see the official leaderboard, make sure to follow Metal State. While you're at it, while you're on Twitter, follow King Price Insurance as well to make sure you guys are updated with everything coming out from King Price over there. So now we get into this position where these players are submitting scores, theories on who won the game. What are your guys' predictions? Who won that game over there It would be interesting to find out, did Neymar, Woke, and Scorer end up getting a better position for themselves? They were fifth going into game number 5, and fifth is progress. It is progress, but it isn't, our expectations for Neymar and them. Hopefully, they did able to do much better in that one. For Reepsy, however, the back-to-back hope for wins just didn't come through for them. And Tem was a solo, just making those rotations quite tough and so forth. So I apologize for that hotkey that I pressed over there. But now we see the leaderboard, and we'll announce the leaderboard in just a bit. But before we do, guys, we have a special viewer who has walked away with a win in the medal state. So well done to Lindsay12343, who went onto social media, guys, took a picture of the stream, and let everyone know that she was spectating and having a blast in the medal state Ultra Cup, the King Series segment, out from King Price. So, with that being said, and the winner coming out from the social media, Lindsay again, 12343, we will be looking at the standings for you guys over here. So, let's see exactly where these guys are situated. And in first place, and a congratulations, I think, to Latte. We're gonna refresh that one more time. I think a little bit of a refresh just one more time, just to make sure that we are having the official leaderboard. So we refresh that, and there is, I think, the official leaderboards, guys. So Stormtestros, Chimp, and Keaton potentially come out in first place with a crazy 51 eliminations and 117 points. In second place, it's going to be Latte, Steri, and Popcool with 95. And in third, it's going to be Bravo, who they move up the ranks with a huge GG's to them, Neymar, Scar, and Woke. Remember, guys, these are not the official standings. Anything is possible to change. Just make sure you guys are looking out on social media for that. But again, thank you to the admin of Meadow State for organizing this tournament. Thank you to the sponsors of the event, King Price Insurance. And then again, thank you to the viewers for making this one a spectacular one. And it was a good one to remember you guys by, because really stacked beautiful games that we have on our hands. And then to all the winners of the giveaways that we did have, congratulations to you guys. Just to remind you who won the giveaways, it was Ruan the Boss, Just a Special Lady, as well as Lindsay12343. So we'll be going over and dusting out and saying this has been a wrap. See you guys in the next one.